up guys, Shaddix here, and welcome to another video where today we have an in-depth guide on how to get the legendary Pokemon Wo-Chien and where to find all 8 of the swords that you need in order to obtain him. We will also be going over exactly what you're going to need to be able to get each one of these swords. Now the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find the purple seal. Now in order to do that, you're going to want to go to the lighthouse that you pass in the very beginning of the game, and then you're going to go all the way to the back here and past those ruins, and we will find ourselves a giant purple seal with 4 chains on it. Now the way these seals work is they have 4 chains, and for every 2 swords you pick up, one of the chains will disappear. So if you're ever confused or lost on however many swords you've found, just come back and check the seal, and the chains will essentially let you know how many more swords you need to attain in order to open it. Now the easiest way to get to the first purple sword is to come to this Pokemon Center here at the bottom of the map, the South Province Area 5. This will be by the marsh-like area. Now to get to this sword, you will not actually need any abilities unlocked for Koraidon at all. You'll just need to finagle your way through the stone-like area where Klawf is to get to this marsh-like area. Now I'll do a quick little time lapse through this area to show you exactly how to get to this purple sword, because it's a little bit of a ways away. Now the first purple sword is actually going to be just past this pond right up here on this corner. Coincidentally, it's actually right above the purple door you can see down there. So this one's actually nice and easy to find. It just takes a little while to get here because if you don't have any unlocked abilities for Koraidon, it's just a long walk really. Now for the second sword, you can get to it from the first one just by following this little trail along the edge here. However, it's way faster and way easier just to use the jumping ability that you get from beating Orthworm. Now if you want to just come up this way from Los Platos, it's pretty simple. You're going to go past this giant tree. You can just jump right up here after getting the jumping ability. And then just, if you don't want to jump anymore, just run around to this big tree. And if you come right over here, just past this big bush, there is a purple stake here as well. Without the jumping ability, you cannot get to this side from the other side. I found that out the hard way, because I found this pretty early on. But if you just get the jumping ability, it'll make your life a whole lot easier for this one. Now for sword number 3, just past this giant bridge here, coming out of South Province Area 3, there's going to be this giant swirling mountain. There's going to be a sword at the very top of this, and you will need the at least super jump ability from beating Orthworm to get up to it. Obviously you can use stuff like climbing and stuff like that, but the jumping ability is much easier to obtain. Alright, and once you have spiraled your way up this mountain, there should be a nice purple sword waiting for you, stuck right next to a rock, and some Pokemon spawns just... Oh, and a Gimmighoul. Okay, look at that. So there's Purple Stake. I call them swords. Number 3, you will, again, need the jumping ability to get to this one. For purple sword number 4, you're going to want to come back to this bridge you crossed to get to sword number 3, and we're going to go towards the gate over here. You can get to this sword without any abilities for Miraidon and Koraidon whatsoever. Now, this sword will be hard to see from this angle, but trust me, it's going to be there. So if we just come over here to where the gate is, we're just going to jump basically right off the edge. You're going to be passing by a trainer right here, and there it is, right there. You can just jump right down. No abilities required for this one whatsoever. And then, of course, to get back, you could just speed travel to any one of the Pokemon Centers nearby. So for Purple Sword number 5, you're going to want to come to this Pokemon Center, the first one right out of the East Gate of Mesaguza. From here, you're going to actually want to head back towards Mesaguza and go straight over this pathway here. You can actually see the purple sword. Now in order to get this one, you will need either the running ability or the jumping ability. Either running from Klawf or jumping from Orthworm, just to make clearing the gap to get here a little bit easier. It might be possible to finagle it without them, but just trust me, get the running ability from Klawf and you'll be just fine. So for purple sword number 6, you're going to want to come to the watchtower in between Artisan and Mesaguza. This will be South Province Area 3 watchtower. Now in order to get to this purple sword, you're going to need one of 2 things. You're either going to need the fly ability that you get from beating the Great Tusk or Iron Treads, or you need the climbing ability that you will get from beating Dondozo. Now, the easiest way to get to this one is you're going to just want to fly over to here, and then fly over to here. I'm just going to assume that if you are flying like this, you already have jumping, so you're going to fly over to where this trainer is, and then from this trainer, you guys can already see where the purple sword is. You could fly right over there, or you can actually just do a little bit of a super jump. But yes, you will at least need fly to get here. You can probably finagle it some way. But if you have fly, you probably have the jumping and running ability as well, because those are super easy. But there's purple sword number 6 for you. Now for purple sword number 7, you're going to want to come to the first Pokemon Center outside of Artisan that you're going to find after getting through the area with Cloth in it. Now, to get to this one, you're at least going to need your jumping ability that you get from Earthworm. And if you just come over here by the sign, you can kind of jump your way over to this little corner here and go up on top of all these rocks. From here, it'll be really easy to see your 7th purple sword waiting for you to pull out of the ground. Now, for the last of the purple swords, you're going to want to come back to the lighthouse on Poco Path. For this one, you're going to want the jumping ability. We're actually going to go through the cave that you actually go through at the very start of the game. You're going to want to take a hard right in here, and we're going to go straight up through the Inlet Grotto to the outside of the cave coming up this path here. Now this is where you're going to need the jumping ability. You can finagle your way getting up here with exclusively jumping. You don't need climbing. You probably don't even need running, to be honest. But you should be able to get up to where this waterfall is. Now here at the waterfall, you can kind of work your way up here, and there's going to be your last purple sword waiting for you by the Skimmy-Ghoul. You can still see the lighthouse in the background, actually. So you're going to want to pull out the stake, and once you pull out your 8th stake, you are going to get an audio cue and a little text box. Once you have pulled those, you will know that you have completed getting all 8 of the stakes, and now you can go back to the purple seal, back all the way in the back there, you can actually kind of see it, and go ahead and get your legendary Wo-Chien. Now, when you get back to the purple seal on the wall, there will be no chains on it, and there will not be a cutscene, so you can go ahead and save right in front of it to make sure that you do not fail it. You'll go ahead and click on it. It'll ask you if you want to touch it after you hear some sounds. You'll click yes, you'll go ahead and do the thing where you touch it or whatever, and then it's gonna break out of the seal and attack you. From there, you can go ahead and catch it. And there you have Wo-Chien. Let's go ahead and catch him real quick. And once you go ahead and catch Wo-Chien, you can go ahead and start your hunt for the other 3 Legends of Ruin. Keep in mind, Wo-Chien is a dark grass type, so you'll want to stack your team accordingly. If you guys found this video helpful, go ahead and leave it a like, helps me out a ton, and let me know down in the comments below what your guys' thoughts on Wo-Chien are. And as always, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next video. Peace!